Listen, I've been saying this all week long. Everybody who listened to the show in the last minute or so heard it too, but I'm saying it again. The Bengals at plus 3.5 is the play this week. I know. The Titans are getting back Derrick Henry. Everybody's excited. The big freight train's going to be on the field, run all over the Bengals. But it doesn't matter when they're down 17 or 20. They're not going to be throwing to Derrick Henry to catch the ball. So Derrick Henry is not going to be that much of a factor when the Bengals go up big. The biggest thing for me, the Bengals are 4-1 as road underdogs this season, covering by an average of 11.1 points. That is a massive number, folks, and that's through 5 games that we're talking about. I think this is a great spot for the Bengals. They've been one of the hottest teams coming into the playoffs. That's not going to stop now against a very poor secondary, first and foremost. Joe Burrow, absolute stud on and off the field. He's going to get it done. They're going to move to the championship round. Bengals plus 3.5. That's your play for this week.
I really wish Jeff Ulrich was here to defend his Titans, who he has loved and cheered for his entire long, miserable life. Pearce, are you backing the Bengals as well?
Yep, let's continue to hate on Tennessee, and rightfully so. But let's go deeper into these Derrick Henry numbers. People have forgotten what he was doing earlier in the season, so let's remind them. Go to his last game before he was injured. 30 carries for 2.9 yards per carry. The game before that, another 30 carries for 3 yards per carry. Against Buffalo, if you take out his 76-yard run, he was going for 3.5 yards per carry. That's not very frightening. If you take out 2 of his runs this season, just take out 2 runs, and he averages 3.7 yards per carry. That ranks 47th in the NFL. That's James Conner's territory. That's not very frightening. People are overhyping this. And that's if he comes back and returns to the form that he was at, which I doubt he will. And also, as Steve mentioned, it's very likely that they get caught into a passing game, which maybe they can hang in there. But the Bengals, like Steve also mentioned, great road underdogs. I cannot believe this line has not moved.
Julian, do you want to bully the Titans as well?
I mean, I was getting ready to give, this is just best bet, right? I was getting ready to give Packers minus 5.5. I really like the Packers. But because of all this Bengals love, I will transition and go to the Titans, who I bet at minus 3, and I think are fine at minus 3.5. Pearce brought up those last games by Derrick Henry, where he didn't do enough. What were those? A 3-point win against Buffalo as underdogs. A 24-point win against Kansas City as underdogs. A 3-point win at Indy as underdogs. Tennessee has been overlooked all season long. They got the number 1 seed with their 2 best receivers and Henry barely playing any snaps together, 100 total on the season. What did they do during those 100 snaps? I'll steal a stat from Anita Marks, who came on the Unreasonable Odds podcast with Steve Buchanan and I this week. Those 100 plays, Tennessee averaged 7 yards per play with A.J. Brown, Julio Jones, and Derrick Henry all on the field. If Henry isn't shredding the Bengals, it's because the Bengals are giving all their attention to Henry and they're going to find ways to score on the outside. I just think having all these weapons healthy, Vrabel coaching the defense the way that he is in this Tennessee defense, having all their backups prepared to step up in a big situation at home, off a bye, Mike Vrabel with 8 or more days to prepare for a game as head coach, 8-0 all time. Titans are winning this game. I love the Bengals. They're great. Great story. Road ends here.